I mean, I'm a lot more in remission than my friend Val, who I said can't even come here because his adrenals are so bad. He has so much fatigue, he can't even leave the house. He can still walk, he's not in a wheelchair. So, I mean, there's always something to be grateful for there. Some people are in wheelchairs and can't walk at all. But what I learned when I'm starting to go into a flare, I get pain, a lot of pain in my low back. And it means I just really need to rest a lot, cancel anything I have going on, do a lot of detox baths are really good for me. There's different ways to detox, but a hot bath with Epsom salts and baking soda is what I do, and a lot of lymphatic massage to get that lymph system going, and then just rest, just sleep, and wait till it goes away. Well, remission for me is going to be when, and I don't know what remission's going to look like at this age. Remission, if it was a Lyme flare in my late 20s, mid to late 20s, remission was complete. Because the year after I was dealing with this flare and I got into remission, that's when I started, my husband was doing the triathlon stuff, and I said, I think I'll give it a try, and I started doing it, and it turned out I was really good at it. And a friend of ours was a professional triathlete, so I had the opportunity to train with her, and so I started racing professionally in some races. Just physically, my attributes are toward that, really good toward long distance, high intensity stuff, and I just loved it. So, I mean, and obviously my brain was working well enough that I could get a PhD and teach college and accomplish all these great things. When I go into, here's what remission's going to look like for me. I'm going to be able to put on my backpack. First, I'm going to have to figure out what goes in it. It's all in a closet right now. And I'm going to be able to hike up to one of those lakes in the high Uintas and camp out for a couple days. Because right now I can't even do the hike, much less even consider carrying the backpack. There's a doctor in Salt Lake City named Sam Goldstein, and he works around the country. He actually does a lot of court cases. He works with children and various people, but even criminal stuff, doing sort of neuropsych evaluation. I didn't see him, but I saw one of his associates, and he tested me for 8 hours. It was very painful. Like, they give you a list of numbers and how many can you remember, and tell you stories and what can you remember. And it's just like torture. And somewhere in there they hide a little test to find out if you're telling the truth. Which I didn't know about until after that was over. Luckily I told the truth. So, but he was able to explain in great detail what parts of my brain aren't functioning. And he said he sees, actually, not just with Lyme disease, but other illnesses, that people that have pretty severe ADHD, which I used pretty well to my advantage in my job, because I was able to work at home usually at least 2 days a week. So I had to do a lot of writing and research and service and conference calls and grading of papers, and I needed isolation. And I could think and function better in that isolation and then be around people other parts of the time. So my job was really perfect for me, and I could switch. My job allowed me to switch from task to task to task to task, which keeps me entertained. And so it's perfect for somebody with ADD. But once you add in the loss of the metacognitive skills and things like the short-term memory, you've put too many straws on the camel's back, and the camel just collapses. And they're just like, I'm not going to do it. The thing that's confusing to me is sitting here talking to you, it seems like I could, but I can't. So he sent me to, he kept saying, he said, you need to go see a behavioral psychiatrist, do some cognitive behavioral therapy, and work on acceptance. And I'm like, I teach people about cognitive behavioral therapy. I don't need to do that. But I finally did go, and it did help, actually. I didn't go a lot. I went like to 6 sessions, maybe. But it was helpful. She said, don't look at it, and this may be helpful for other Lyme patients, don't look at it as good days and bad days. This is today's normal. This is your new normal. That Vita thing, wherever it went, that was my normal then. This is my normal today. And that can kind of help you from, when you start using words like good and bad and labeling yourself as good and bad, it's not healthy. My mother, well, she's a little bit older than I am, in her mid-80s. I was bad today. I ate a piece of cake. I'm like, oh, Mom. Just eat the cake and enjoy it. You weren't bad. but that helps me reflect and see, how does that affect somebody? It's like, I think I'm still kind of understanding that intellectually up here, and I'm still not completely accepting that. I don't know about the cognitive skills. I don't know if any of them, they don't know if any of them are coming back. They're not seeing any damage in my brain, but they don't know. They do seem to be pretty sure I don't have Alzheimer's, which is a good thing. But actually, you probably know this, that Lyme has been distinctly linked with Alzheimer's. They've done a lot of autopsies on people who have died from Alzheimer's and found the spirochetes in their system. And so it may be, and at this point, there is no cure. There is only remission. And without a cure, the spirochetes will remain in my system forever, which may mean that dementia is inevitable. That's not really a good thing to know.